Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
They're polite. They just take the time for you.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
I like the Angels for what they've done for me.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always to the producer of our series, Jeff Durall. We're at the soon-to-be completed track and field complex located just south of the soccer baseball complex for Fort Hays State University, with the Director of Athletics now in his completed 12th year with Fort Hays State University as Director of Athletics, Curtis Hammeke. Curtis, since we are at the new site here, tell us a little about what it's all about. What's taking place here with all the construction machinery going on?
Well, it's always exciting to see new construction going on, I think, on any campus, but we came into a situation where the growth of the campus was adding some housing on campus, and the site selected for that was in the north end part of Lewis Field Stadium, which is currently a parking lot, a grass parking lot. We're building new housing there, some themed housing for students on campus, Greek housing actually, bringing some of those that are off campus onto campus. But in the process of doing that, that's going to create that entire parking lot that's now grass is going to be paved, and all of our field events were located there. Our triple jump, our long jump, our pole vault, our discus area, our javelin area, hammer throw, shot put, all of these field events. And there wasn't room to move those to the south end of the stadium because we have the creek back there. So we were looking around for a site to relocate our field events in order to accommodate the housing project. Unable to find that, so our reluctance to move our field events away from the track event itself, I think for purposes of practice on a daily basis, from coaching standpoint, from student athletes being, say, in the triple jump, but also on a relay team, those type of things made it difficult to separate the field events a distance away, for example, out here, away from the track. So after giving that quite a bit of consideration and thought, the best solution we came up with was to build the new track facility that could accommodate all those things in one site. So that was the premise behind building the new facility, was to keep our entire track and field program together. And also, at the end of the day, that's going to be a facility they can call their own. So now when they're practicing and running around the track, they don't got to worry about getting hit in the head with the football. So it's going to be a nice move. I think a futuristic vision for our track and field program. This site out here could turn into a complex someday. We don't know how growth is going to occur on campus moving forward, but there's some talk as you look into the future, what if we ended up building more and we needed the area, say, where Meckle Fields are right now. Currently our softball field and our tennis courts are located there. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility that someday this area out here where our soccer facility is located just to the north of us could also accommodate things like our tennis courts, our softball field, potentially even a baseball field if you got that far. But so we're really a futuristic vision here in building this, starting with this project. I guess not really starting with this project, it started with the soccer facility. So now we'll have two facilities out here side by side, which we think is going to be really nice going into the future.
Well, and Curtis, after taking a look at the world-class soccer field and the construction that took place there, this is going to be something that's really special.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. I think you get, the only part of it that's a negative, I think, initially is you get the sentimental value of leaving Lewis Field Stadium. They went through that in Lawrence at KU, where they built a freestanding facility out west of town with a soccer facility out there and a track. But I think that's a challenge for alumni initially is, this is Alex France's track. This is where we've ran ever since, the 40s, I guess. It goes way back. So I think there's some sentimental value there. But I also think once we look into the future and see what this means for our program, that our alumni can embrace this and get excited about what it means for the future of our existing athletes.
What's this directly behind us? What are we seeing back here?
Well, we're actually seeing the track right behind us. It's probably hard from the camera angle, but you can start to see the curve here of the actual track. So where this truck back here is parked, he's sitting on the lanes of the track right there. You can see some concrete poured out there where the triple jump and long jumps will be, but it's exciting now. You're starting to see the formation. For a while, it was just moving a lot of dirt out here. Now you can start to see it coming together, and so this is actually just 20 feet away from here is the actual curve right here of the track.
You also have an architect's drawing that Jeff, I'm sure, will put into our interview today about what's included to kind of give us an idea of what this all looks like. And it's going to be a first-class facility, Curtis.
Well, it really is, and we're appreciative of the commitment from the university. You know, this was, like I said initially, it started as building new residence halls, and then what's going to become of the track, field event areas and that type of thing, and turned into this project, which is going to be a brand new facility. But that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't from the commitment made by the university. You know, initially the project is going to cost about $3 million is what the university's committed to this project. Now it's going to exceed that to a degree, which is why we're in a capital campaign project in terms of trying to generate funds privately. So there are things that are on the drawings and that aren't included in that $3 million. It's hard to believe, but you would think on the surface if you spent $3 million, you'd have enough to build a facility. But once you get done with the dirt moving and the underlay of all this and the construction, there's a lot of hidden costs there. And so some of the things that we're going to be generating money for is, for example, we have all the electrical run. We're running for lights, but lights is not part of that original project. Now we can operate initially without lights, but we certainly want to have lights out here so that we can have those events that run into the evening. And we're looking at $150,000 to generate lighting for the project. For example, that's one idea of something that we're going to go get, hopefully, from community support to make it even better than what it's originally designed to be. It's going to be a very first-class facility, but the nuts and bolts and the foundation of it are going to come from the foundation or from the university, but we're going to need outside revenue to take it to the first class level that we all want it to be.
So again, corporate sponsorship, naming rights, input from alums, all of this is going to make this a real world-class facility.
There's no question it's going to be an outstanding facility. It's going to have 9 lanes, a rubber track. We're going to have the restrooms back here, the storage area, the training room to take care of the athletes. We'll have behind it to the east over here will be where all of our throw events are. We'll have javelin, shot put, discus, hammer throw. All those things will be back there. The triple jump, long jump, and pole vault will all be on the field in the middle of the inside the track area there. And the high jump will take place here on the north end, so what we call the D area, but that'll all be also track surface there where they do the high jump area. So it's going to be totally self-contained in terms of our track and field program, and then the bleachers will sit here on the east side. That'll accommodate seating, I think, for 500, but they'll be able to turn around and see the field events behind them. So it'll be nice to be able to see the field events at the same time while you're watching the track meet. So we're real excited about that.
In addition, first-class landscaping all around the area to really give it a first-class look.
Well, I think we're going to have to add some trees, you know. I mean, for not only landscaping and for aesthetic purposes, but also, you know, there's always a breeze out here. And I think anytime you're building something new, it takes enough acreage that you have to go to a place where there's not usually a lot of trees to begin with. So much like the Bickel-Schmidt sports complex over here to the north, you know, it's got to mature a little bit. And I think after 8-10 years, you're going to see some big improvements in terms of the foliage and having some cover, some shade, some windbreak. That won't all be there initially to as much as we'd like it to be. But again, I think we got to go back to the fact of a very futuristic vision. You know, we have naming opportunities for the facility itself. You know, people have asked about Alex Francis. We're not going to rename the track Alex Francis Track, but we are going to have a dedicated area at the entrance that's going to talk about our history, talk about the fame of our coaching staff. You know, I think we've only had 4 head coaches in this track program's history, so we're going to make a concerted effort to focus on identifying the history, the grand history of our track and field and our cross-country program near the entrance. That'll also be an area we'll recognize those who contribute to make it a reality. So we've got a great plan for recognizing not only the history of the program, but those who make this all possible. And we plan to have naming rights at each event out here, you know, a javelin naming right, you know, a shot put naming area. People can get their names or dedicate a plaque in memory of someone if they'd like at that site. So lots of options to help fund the project at very significant levels. So we're looking forward to that.
And when's the completion date?
We're planning to be done in September. So we're going to plan on having track meets out here next spring, hopefully practice out here in the fall. So I hope we're on schedule. I know, you know, I'll tell you what, we'll trade off out here in western Kansas. We'll trade off getting backed up a little bit by wet weather. You know, some of the rain we had probably backed them up a little bit, but like I said, that's a good trade-off for us out here to have some good rain.
And local contractors involved in the project as well.
Yeah, you know, Gary Weatherby and Commercial Builders have done an outstanding job. They've been the primary contractor, and they're working with many other local contractors. You know, M&D did the dirt work out here, but there's a lot of local contractors involved, and we're happy about that. We like to have the local people involved. They've got a vested interest in it, and they take pride in making sure it's a great project, and that's what we all want.
Curtis, in our final couple of minutes here, I did want to mention one of the other reasons we wanted to talk was the 2 Hall of Fame inductees from
Amazing.
Fort Hays State's athletic history.
Yeah. You know, and one of them relates right to the project we're talking about. You know, Coach Krubb was here many years, stepped in and did an outstanding job with the track and field program here for, gosh, 20 plus years. And you know, Coach Krubb's a legend, a living legend in the track world, and very deservedly was inducted into the Kansas High School Activity Association Hall of Fame this summer, and I can't think of anyone that'd be more deserving than him to be inducted into there. But you know, he's left such a footprint on our track and field program, but not just on the success of the program itself, but in the lives of many, many, many student athletes, and I think he's been a great role model for them, and a person that we're very, very proud of.
And then, of course, there's the current football coach, Chris Brown.
Not quite the length of service, of course, but Coach Brown was inducted into the MIAA Hall of Fame, which is hard to do, but he was inducted in there as a player. He was a 3-time All-American at Pittsburgh State back in the 90s, a great player himself, and now he's beginning to make a great name for himself as a coach, obviously. He's done such a great job, again, with our football program and increasing win by each year, adding another win up to 8 last year, which was a great accomplishment and qualified for the bowl game. Chris is another one who's done not only a great job with our football program in terms of wins and losses, but again, a great role model for our kids. I think as coaches, you know, we have a great opportunity to influence young student athletes in a lot of ways, not just about football or not just about track, but about how to conduct themselves as citizens. And I think that's a common denominator with Coach Krubb and Coach Brown. Both of them have done great things in terms of educating our young men and women, not only for their sport, but how to move forward in life.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Curtis, because you saw that firsthand as former head baseball coach back in '96. And that's one thing that makes the program at Fort Hays State stand out, is the dedication of these coaches, athletic directors, staff, to give these kids not only sports skills, but life skills as well.
Yeah, and I think that's real important when you're selecting head coaches. People ask us that sometimes what we're looking for. Well, we are looking for great coaches, of course, but there's a lot of those out there. What you're really looking a little bit deeper is to find the great person. And I think we've been very fortunate in doing that with some of the people that we've got on hand here. And I feel very blessed to work with this coaching staff that we have here right now, because they're really good people and they're a great joy to be around. They're fun to work with every day.
And we can say that very same thing about the athletic director, entering his 13th year at Fort Hays State University. Curtis Hammeke, Director of Athletics at Fort Hays State, our community connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hays and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
And the Angel Care nurse comes to see me once a week.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Angel Care has helped to stay home.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.